What's up guys, and welcome to episode number 216 of Career Mode. And today guys, we start today's episode off with a couple of international friendlies with Spain. Of course, we're qualified for Qatar 2022 already, so from this moment on we're only going to have international friendlies, and we take on Austria and Russia. I think it was Austria in the first game, but anyway, we take on these two teams, and we draw the first game 1-1, and the second game is 1-0 to us. So you know, not bad results really, but I would like to win them both. But of course, I don't play the international friendly, so I don't have much control. Yeah, I'm very excited for Qatar 2022. That should be a really fun tournament to watch on YouTube and to play in as well. So that should be really fun. But anyway, we take on Arsenal for the first game here at the Emirates Stadium, and it was always going to be a very difficult game because Arsenal, you know, very good on the game. I must admit, on the game they really are a very strong side. So I was, you know, fearing as though this could be one of those games where we never really get into it and we get off to a slow start, and it did happen because Emmanuel Frimpong just hit an absolute beast of a goal, a dench goal if you will. A really good strike by Frimpong, and that made it 1-0 to Arsenal in the first few minutes. But just before the 10-minute mark, Jethro Williams picks the ball up here and finds De Rocha Fonte. He finds Craig Gibson down the left hand side. Gibson with a double step over, rolls the ball to De Rocha Fonte, who takes one touch and just levers it from range. Absolutely fantastic strike by my new number 7. You know, you may not have the 5-star skills that Ronaldo's got, but he's definitely got his ability from range. And that's a really good strike by De Rocha Fonte into the back of the net. Of course, he, you know, he's been responding to my criticism, as I suppose, because I have said a couple of bad things about him over the course of the past few episodes, that he hasn't really been performing too well. But great finish by De Rocha Fonte, and just after that, Matthew Acaso scores here, goes through 1-1, and Arsene Wenger must have been furious, man. In fact, he was down the touchline. He was literally laying into me. You know, he was swearing at me. Oh, why didn't your team put the ball out? Because Frimpong was injured. Like in the last episode, if you remember, Tarat scored and Manini had to injure him. That's exactly the same what happened here. You know, Manini injuring Frimpong. That was me. You know, Arsene Wenger was thinking it was me. He was saying that I told my players to be ruthless and injure the opponent's players, and that's exactly what I'm doing. You know, I'm saying that if you can't stop them from scoring, you know, you got to injure them. That's what I'm saying to my captain in the pre-game talks in the dressing room. So yeah, Wenger was furious, and I didn't care. You know, we were having a right feud on the touchline. But anyway, we win a penalty here, and of course no Marcano in his side, so we give it to Richard Gape, and Gape steps up here. Wasn't really feeling confident because Gape doesn't have the best penalty stat, but even so, Szczesny does dart the right way, but Gape manages to put the ball past the pole in goal, and yeah, Gape makes it 3-1 to Sunderland. So despite that early slip up, we were in control in this game here at the Emirates, and just before half an hour's play, Manini found Redmond with a nice roulette and a great touch to get past Stephen Williams, our old fullback, and he crosses the ball in towards De Rocha Fonte, and he is there with the header. Absolutely fantastic by De Rocha Fonte, and he was just sitting there seriously saying, come on Docs, man, seriously, why have you been laying into me over the past few episodes? You know I'm good enough for this team. Why don't you play me ahead of Redmond or Ocampos? But anyway, 4-1 to Sunderland here, and when Gibson played through De Rocha Fonte, well, what a game this guy had. Absolutely fantastic. Definitely his best so far in his debut season. Gets his hat-trick, and like I say, responding to the criticism there, and ends up punching the corner flag in delight. So yeah, it was I think it was 5-1 at this stage. Yes, it was 5-1 to Sunderland. Arsenal all over the place really after that early goal, and when Redmond plays through De Rocha Fonte, he had a chance to get his 4th goal of the game, dinked the ball over the goalkeeper, but unfortunately the defender was back just on time to clear the ball off the line, and De Rocha Fonte ended up getting a booking for his troubles as well. Must have been furious after that ball didn't cross the line. Must have just punched the ground in frustration or launched a few expletives at the referee. But anyway, the game did finish 5-1, a hat-trick for De Rocha Fonte. Really good game by him, and really good to get a win in that game as well. And we take on Valencia in the next game, so we were full of confidence coming into this game. We did have to rest a couple of players. Casso was missing. I think we were missing Richard Gape as well, because Gape can't really play in the midweek games due to his low stamina. We do have quite an English themed team, but you know, even so, sometimes I have to drop the very few English players we have in our first 18 to play the other players such as Pinsoglio and Yelem. But anyway, Carroll scores here. Really good finish by Andy Carroll, the former Liverpool striker, to make it Sunderland 0, Valencia 1. But in the 90th minute here, the game was being closed out, and it looked as though Valencia were going to be the first team to beat us this season competitively. Before Ocampos came through here, I was disgusted that the fourth official only put up a board that said 1 minute of added time. I was like, bitch, are you serious, man? This game's had loads of stoppages. What are you talking about? But even so, that was the decision. Only 1 minute of added time, so I knew that I simply couldn't give the ball away. I had to keep passing it around the edge of the area, had to work my way into the box to take a shot, and unfortunately when I did just that, Marcano's shot was brilliantly saved, and it just wasn't happening for me. You know, I just couldn't get into this game, and you know, we just couldn't seem to get ourselves any goals either, which is obviously quite important in football. And yeah, it was just becoming really frustrating for me, especially when I saw that we only had 1 minute of added time. But even so, we did win a corner here eventually after this Valencia player decides to you know, walk off the pitch very slowly, and Marcano swings it in towards Nsaya. He can't get there, but it comes to Kurt Zuma, who finds Yelen. Yelen with a Ronaldo chop again, just couldn't get the ball away, because as soon as I do, the referee's going to blow for full time. But Yelen, you can always rely on Yelen. He's such a fantastic player. He may not go up in stats, but he doesn't go down in them either, and he's always so consistent. That's a fantastic finish by Yelen into the far corner, and yeah, that saves our blushes, because as soon as the kickoff was taken, the referee blew for full time. So that is the definition of, you know, just clutch, I suppose. Really good from Yelen, and Sunderland 1, Valencia 1. Really pleased to get a draw there in such a pressure situation where it seemed as though, you know, any touch Valencia would have had of the ball, and we would have conceded defeat. But anyway, we take on Derby in the last game of the episode. Derby coming here to the Stadium of Light. Of course, a new Premier League side. Chris Burge got them promoted, our academy player, not playing for them anymore, but even so, Derby give the ball away here straight to Courtois. He finds Ocampos. Ocampos finds Marcano, who finds Ocampos, he finds Wakaso. Not a great first touch, but he does manage to get himself past Dawson, and his left foot, he just rockets the ball into the far corner to give us a 1-goal lead here in the 36th minute. And just before half time, Richard Gate finds Wakaso. Wakaso finds Marcano. Marcano with a scoop turn, nice pass through to Ocampos, lovely take by my Argentine winger, and he smashes the ball into the back of the net. Ocampos was having a fantastic game in this game, and as the game was being closed out, Derby brought their keeper Frank Fielding up for the corner, despite being 2 goals behind. The AI do that when you're 2 goals behind. The AI will still bring their goalkeeper up, and Ocampos, well, you know what's going to happen, don't you? The ball just gingerly rolls into the empty net as Ocampos scores from up behind the halfway line. Really good finish by my Argentine, and the game finishes 3-0. And as always, guys, a big thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like, that does help my channel out. And yeah, I will see you for another career mode episode very soon, probably tomorrow, maybe sometime during the week.